Hi guys, I tried to do a couple of chill videos because I've done quite a few serious ones lately. This one, it isn't as serious as my other ones, and I'm going to try and make it as funny as I can. Although part of it isn't the best situation for anybody to have. Considering some of the other videos I've done, it's quite calm. So, right, okay. This video's topic is being a dyslexic author. I'll put my notebook on here. I'm dyslexic and I'm an author. I'm a published author with 5 books out. I just finished my 6th. I'm just in the editing process. As soon as I've done one quick edit, it'll go off to the boss, and then she'll tell me yes. She'll give me probably say yes, but can't guarantee. But she has like the other 2 big books in the series, so, and this is kind of like the next progression, and it was kind of where the other one was going. Because I'm nasty. I always leave my books on a cliffhanger. My best friend who's my B2 reader hates me for it. I think it's fun because then that way they're more likely to read the next book. That's my thinking anyway. But yeah, now when I was at school, when I was at primary school, I have mentioned this previously in a video, I just can't remember which video it was. One of my teachers who I did have a friendship with before I moved to York, she was like, she said she seemed very intelligent, you just couldn't put it down on paper. And then in secondary school it was pretty much the same thing. She seems very intelligent, but she struggles putting it down on paper. Went to what we call college here, which is 16 to 18. Although you can do it older than that, because I have gone to other courses at colleges. But college in this country is usually 16 to 18, and it's kind of like a midway between school and university. And when I was at college, I was in my last year, and I was prepping for university, and I had a meeting with my tutor, my main tutor that I saw every day, that we had meetings with and things like that. And she says to me, she says, you seem to know what you're talking about, but your handwriting's atrocious. And I said, well, my mum taught me how to read and write. I said, and she's dyslexic. The penny dropped. Right, okay, I'm going to put you in for the test. So she put me in for the test, and the first test was, we can't tell, you're pretty much on this point, on like this knife edge where you could be, but you might not be. She says if we put you in for the more detailed test, it would then prove whether you are or not, but if you aren't, then you have to pay for it. I said, that's fine. I said, that's not a problem. I said, I'm willing to take that risk. Well, they did the test, and it was like, yeah. And I actually asked her the question. She said, well, the reason why you were able to hide it is because you've got a good IQ. She says, and that gave you the ability to hide it to the point where a lot of people, unless they knew that your mother was dyslexic, they wouldn't twig. She says, and I'm guessing you didn't go to the same school that your mother did. I said, no. I said, I went to school in the town which she grew up, and I went to the town which I grew up, which are close, but they're not the same town. And she, they're like, yeah, you're dyslexic. Literally just before I went to university. So, but it was quite good, and I did university, and I did pretty well. I think I've mentioned previously as well that towards the end of my last year, my mother was up, and I was looking after her. My dad was working a lot, which is my stepdad. So I was looking after my mum, doing university and working. So I was a little bit busy, as you can imagine. And then just as my mum started getting better than she was, I started, because at one point my mum was literally bent double, and then when we got her out of that position, not long after I started. So it was like, and it's the same condition, just presents slightly different. But that's a different, well, I'll pop one of those videos up, which is It's about EDS, being fat, and a few other things. So that'll also help you understand why I got extra weight on. Right. So as you can imagine, being an author and being dyslexic, there are a few hurdles. Like I said, I'm going to try and make this as light as possible. More edits needed. Meaning I have to edit my own stuff a lot. I have a beta reader who mine is awesome, and she has an OCD around grammar and spelling, and she does it into British English, and then when it goes over to the editor that works for the company that I'm published with, she then picks up on anything that my beta missed, and then she also translates it from British English to American English, because my books are based in America. So as a result, I get the choice of whether to have it in British English or American English, and I said, well, it's based in America, so put it in American English, it makes more sense. So, like I say, having a beta reader that's OCD about spelling and grammar, I'm quite good on this one, and I absolutely adore her for it. She's awesome. The first one that she did was the one that's got her daughter on the front. I would reach over and grab one, but I'm not going to. The Hell Hath No Fury book, and I absolutely love it. And I know she loves it. Her and her husband both have a copy each. Her daughter and her partner both have a copy each. Quite a lot of the family have a copy each. I have a copy, my mum has a copy. So, you know, it's one of those things that it is a book I'm proud of, because it was a joint effort between the three of us. But double checking spelling, obviously. A lot of the time when I'm writing or when I'm editing, I'll jump onto the Google and I'll spell check something, because I have a habit of getting hoping and hopping mixed, and drooping and dropping and things like that. They're just weird things where you're not sure whether it's a double or a single, and it's just easier just to jump over onto Google and stick it in and find out. So I also have to double check all my info. I think I had majority of the issues with info when it came to Twisted, because obviously that's about a doctor inside a home for the criminally insane. So I had to know the difference between a psychiatrist and a psychologist. I had to know the difference between all the medications and things. I had to know the difference between what the FBI do and don't get involved in, because there's an element of the FBI in it. And there's all these other issues that I have to research, which luckily research is something that I've always been good at ever since I was at uni. So with a bit of luck, you know, that will continue, but I have to double check things. There are at least two other authors in the same publishing group that are dyslexic. One I speak to pretty much, try to speak to on a daily basis. We have a lot in common. We both crochet. She checks in with me all the time. You know, she's always there if I need advice. She's always there if I need anything. So if I get stuck on anything or I'm not sure whether I'm doing something right, I'll just message her and say, is this right? And she'll be like, yes or no. And she's pretty good that way. And she does point me in the right direction with a lot of things. And she does it also with writing as well. But with both of us being dyslexic, we also have to get the spelling of things double checked and things. And I also have the great honour of having one of the most understanding publishers that I've ever had. Well, I've only ever had this one publisher, but she's extremely understanding, and I respect that she is so understanding. She has multiple people in the company that have learning difficulties. She has multiple people in the company that have disabilities like I do, which, you know, it's not my weight before anybody says anything. But yeah, she's really good. It's like she knows that my books aren't easily to write, and B, because of the EDS, there's like sometimes there's a week where I can't do any work on it, so it's like, okay. So I also have a huge support network. I have one in real life, which is my husband, my mother, my very close friend network, which is it's most of my husband's childhood friends and their partners, and we are an extremely close group. We are extremely interwoven with each other, and we know a lot about each other. So, and I absolutely adore them. And then I have in the publishing group, I also have a good support network where there's about 5 people where I know for a fact if I've got an issue I can go to them and they'll help, and they'll help quite easily, quite readily, and I adore them for it. And I really would be, I'd be stuck without them. And they're always willing to give you information and advice on what to do and what not to do, and how to go forward with things. And I enjoy being in the publishing group that I am, and I also enjoy being part of the overall happiness group that I am, meaning that I have, although there are days where my depression literally grabs me by the throat and won't let go, there are a few days where I get which are happy, and I can bask in what I've got, and I can bask in what I know I'll get and what I know I'll see in the future. It's just one of those things that you just have to live with. Live with life. And although dyslexia is a pain in the butt, it's not as bad as my other disability, but it's also not as bad as others. That it's like, I would say dyslexic over being blind or deaf. I would take EDS over, some other conditions that are, especially a condition like HIV. Although HIV isn't a death sentence anymore, it's still pretty dangerous. So it's one of those things that life isn't as easy or as simple as it once was. But we're gonna hopefully get to the point where things are a little bit smoother for people with disabilities and with learning difficulties. Obviously, it starts with the government, but we need to go forward from there. But like I say, if you have a learning difficulty, remember these few people that also have learning difficulties. One of the most successful British entrepreneurs and businessmen is dyslexic, Richard Branson. Tom Cruise is not my favourite actor, but he's dyslexic. Then you've got Harry Winkler, also known as the Fonz. He's dyslexic. There's a lot of people that are dyslexic. One quick search and you'll be surprised with the names that pop up. And it's one of those things that it isn't a moniker of shame that it once was. A lot of people that are dyslexic are actually have a higher intelligence than those that aren't. I won't go into further on those, but let's just put it this way, that you'd be surprised with the IQ of some people who are dyslexic. I know IQ is not the be all and end all, but it is it is a good way of measuring. But it's one of those things that life throws things at you, but you carry on. Or you, as Brits would, you just carry on. That's what we're known as. We're known for in this country. We get all sorts thrown at us, but we just carry on. That's the way this country has always operated since the war, because that was something that started in the war. Keep soldiering on, keep going on, and keep grinding. Anybody can do anything. If I can be a writer, anybody can do anything. It's that simple. It is that simple. So, if you want to do something, whatever inner demon's holding you back, stop it. Don't let it control you, and just embrace who and what you are, and you would be impressed with what you can do. So I will leave that at that for now. I am trying to store videos for while my mum's here, so this will probably be one that gets stored. With a bit of luck, there will be a few more brighter videos coming out soon, because it is getting to the point where it's quite exhausting for all the videos that I've done that are serious. I am trying to do more fun ones, honestly, especially not ones where I'm ranting like the one I recorded not long ago. So anyway, if you've got any questions, queries, anything like that, pop it down below and I will try my best to answer it. Again, don't let anything hold you back. If I don't let my dyslexia or my EDS hold me back, or my weight hold me back, then you shouldn't either. So, pep talk over, have fun, keep being you, and I'll speak to you soon.